Okay, so now that you understand, the principles of how to properly take action and get results, now you understand how to get results with girls, you understand how to lead, you understand how to handle the problems that come up in the interactions, you understand day game, you understand how to deal with dates, you understand how to properly text like an attractive man. Now we're going to add a cherry on top. We're going to talk about the advanced principles of success with women, the advanced dating principles, I guess the advanced fuckboy frame principles that are going to lead to you getting more success. Because sometimes when you go out, there's going to be little kinks in your game, different things, different situations you get in, and you might not know how to handle those. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to handle those like an advanced guy would. And when I say advanced, I mean a guy who is getting those consistent results. I'm going to teach you a couple tweaks that you can add in your game so that in these different situations, you can actually step up to the plate and not lose out on potential sex or meeting potentially really cool girls because you kind of fucked up here or fucked up there. So we're going to learn how to handle that in this section. And we're going to start off learning social awareness. So what does it mean to be properly socially aware? So remember earlier we talked about social awareness and sub-communication and things like that, but we're going to talk about advanced social awareness. So when you're in certain situations, how to deal with those situations properly, like a guy who's advanced would, how to put yourself in those situations so you can come out winning and get consistency. That's the difference between a guy who's advanced and a guy who's intermediate with women. One guy is very consistent, and one guy gets consistent results with quality women. The other guy maybe gets them sporadically and doesn't really know how he's doing it all the time. But so as an advanced guy, learning to be socially aware, you learn where to put yourself in different positions when you're talking to women. Right? You learn where to put yourself in terms of this girl is giving me good response, this girl's giving me a bad response, this girl has friends here, there's a guy coming in and trying to talk to the girl this way, there's a group interaction. Being a guy who's advanced and learning advanced social awareness, you learn how to mess with the dynamic and how to handle this dynamic properly in each of these situations. And this is what we're going to crack into here. Okay, so the first situation that you may get into socially that you would need this advanced social awareness is when the girl has friends that could cockblock you. So it's like you go up to a girl, you say hi to her by the bar, and her two friends are standing nearby. Or you go up to a girl and you're talking to her on the dance floor, and her two friends are maybe kind of pulling her away. Or you go up, and I get this question all the time, guys asking me, hey, I opened this girl and her friends came in and stole her from me, right? What should I have done instead? And what you have to learn to do is how to have advanced social awareness. That's what we're going to go into here. So what to do when you're in an interaction and the girl's friends are there? What to do when you get in an interaction and the girl has friends that are nearby? Well, the first thing is understanding you have to be at the cause versus the effect. Part of being a guy who is socially aware, part of being a guy who has this advanced level of social awareness is learning how to always position yourself at the cause of the interaction instead of the effect. Most guys are standing around waiting for the girl to approve of them. Most guys are standing around waiting for shit to happen. Like most guys in their interactions are standing around just waiting for the girl to say, okay, I'll come and talk to you. Okay, I'll ignore my friends for you. But it never fucking happens. That's why most guys don't get good results, because they're always waiting to be the man instead of just being the man instantly. Remember we talked about this earlier, being the cause versus the effect, leading, how you have to make shit happen and solve problems. We talked about that earlier, and it's the same thing when a girl has friends. So I call it the cause versus the effect principle. When you are playing at the effect, when you're at the effect of the interaction, when you're like, okay, I'm playing not to win, but I'm playing just to survive, or let's say that you're not dictating what happens next, you're going to be losing almost every fucking time. But the second you get into being in the effect, and what does the effect mean? It's basically like, this girl, well, the effect is the bad thing, but the cause, the second you get into being the cause, you're like, this girl's going to do kind of what I say when I say it. Not in a domineering way, like, come here, girl, do exactly what I say, but when it's you're dictating the pace, that's when you're going to win. And how do you do that with friends? Well, you have to make sure that you're proactively meeting them. Most guys who ask me, like, Tim, how do I actually handle the friend objection? They don't go out and proactively meet the friends before the friends come in. Like, when I say hi to a girl, I'm constantly looking at who she's with. Right, so if I go up to a girl, let's say she's standing by the bar and I have a drink and I'm like, cheers, can I meet you? And I lean back against the bar, what happens? I'm going to be making sure that she doesn't have friends, or if she does have friends, I'm going to ask her how she knows them. So but maybe I see two girls standing nearby, I'll be like, do you know those girls? How do you know her? Remember you saw in the infield footage, I was like, how do you know this person? How do you know this guy? Oh, how do you know her? Oh, is this your sister? Oh, is this your friend? I'm constantly asking how the girl knows these people, and I'm proactively going in and meeting them. I'm not just sitting back waiting for the girl to either introduce me or either approve of me or let the friends approve of me. No, I'm doing it first. Because what you have to understand is that all you have to do is make the friends feel comfortable with you being there. That's it. Like literally all you have to do when you're going out and approaching girls and she has friends is just make the girls feel comfortable with you being there. And when you make the girls feel comfortable with you being there, that's when they're going to allow you to lead the interaction forward and get into that, you get that emotional relevance going, get that emotional momentum going, and then I'm taking her home. That's how it's going to happen. But you have to have the friends comfortable with you. So what I do is when I see a girl with friends, I say, how do you know them? I make sure that they're her friends. And then I instantly say, oh, hey, by the way, Tim, nice to meet you. Where are you from? And now I'm meeting the friends. And I'll tell some joke, some little dumb joke. I'll be like, I love your hair. You look like a princess or something stupid. The girls will laugh. They'll giggle, haha, oh my God. But now I'm cool with them. Now we're friends. Now we're good to go. Then, wham, back on my girl. So now I'm back to my girl. And I'm interacting through emotional relevance, and I follow, the steps of the fuckboy frame, process for getting girls to go home with you, leading, being entitled, not questioning yourself. I'm already going here, come with me. That whole frame, I follow that, and then I go forward from there. Right? That's generally the principle behind how you're going to be leading girls and how you're going to be making girls come with you, but you have to be socially aware. If they're with friends, and a lot of girls are with friends, you have to be smart. You have to find out information. Remember, knowledge is power. So if you're talking to a girl and her friends are nearby looking at you, and you're just sitting there, just standing and focused, bam, on your girl only, and this happens with my students, and I have to correct them on this, you have to call shit out. You have to be like, how do you know these people? Hey, by the way, nice to meet you. Hold your hand out, extend your hand, and get to know them. That doesn't mean you have to get to them in a long conversation, but you do have to address them. What's another situation that you may get in? Other guys coming in. Like another guy coming in to take the girl. Either a guy that already knows her or a guy that's just being a fucking asshole. Right? What do you do if another guy is coming in to talk to the girl? Well, it's something I call relaxation versus being in reaction. This is one of the biggest things I teach on program. When there's a guy who's talking to a girl, and sometimes I'll have students go into an interaction where there's already two people talking, like a guy and a girl talking. If they're not together, I'll have him do that so that he can learn how to be more masculine and assert himself more. It's called relaxation versus reaction. Relaxation versus reaction. So what happens is if you get a girl that you're talking to and a guy comes in and he tries to talk to her, the guy who reacts the least and is the least reactive, is responding to the tension the best, is handling the tension the most, that guy is going to win usually. Right? The guy who reacts the most, the guy who tries to invest the most and tries to win the most is always going to be the guy that loses. Right? The guy who tries to get reactions out of the girl more, the guy who is reacting to the girl or reacting to the other guy is going to be the guy that loses. So what happens? So when a guy comes in and tries to talk to the girl that I'm talking to, he's not even there to me. I don't even recognize him. Remember, I went over the examples earlier. I showed you guys examples of me talking to girls in different interactions where there was a guy that I was trying to take the girl from, right? You saw two examples of that, where there's a girl who was either making out with the guy or the girl who was in the interaction with the guy. And both times when I went in, I didn't even talk to the guy. I ignored him completely. The only time I really talked to the guy was in the second example when I felt like he was kind of going to get a little confrontational and he was looking pissed off. And I said to him, don't worry, I'm gay, so that he would not have any reason to go in and hit me. I mean, he could have still hit me, but if you hit a guy who's gay and says he's gay, now you just look like a fucking asshole, and he wasn't stupid. So I said that, right? And plus, I knew all the bouncers in the bar. They're all my friends, so he would have gotten kicked out anyways. But that's what I did. Like that time when I went out, when I fucking approach like that, or when I meet girls that are with guys, or I talk to a girl and a guy comes in, the guy who was the least reactive was always going to win. Really funny story. So a while ago, my video assistant, this is like before he actually was my video assistant. This was maybe a year ago. I didn't really know him that well. I had seen him at a few of my meetups, and he was in the same club as I was with my students. We were on program, and I was teaching my students. So I told one of them to go in and take a girl that he was talking to. So he was talking to a girl at the time, and I said, told my student to go in and take the girl from my video assistant. He wasn't my video assistant at the time. I didn't know who he was. And what happened was, because he had been watching my videos, he knew to not be reactive. So my student came in and tried to take the girl, and it didn't work because he literally leaned back and was just looking at my student like, who the fuck is this guy? And then I came in and kind of helped him out and tried to make shit happen. But still, that's a great principle. It's like, do you understand that when you're talking to girls, you need to understand when you're talking to girls, when you're communicating with women, when you're communicating with beautiful women, if there's other guys that try to challenge you, the guy who is the least reactive is always going to win. So if you're thinking about addressing the guy as being like, hey bro, can I help you? Fuck that. Don't do it. The guy who invests the least is the guy that's going to win. Right? And this principle is so important. It's the same thing as like, now if a guy's getting confrontational with you, like if a guy's getting fucking confrontational, getting up in your face, you don't ignore him and be an idiot and then get knocked out. Of course, look at it and be like, hey brother, is everything good, man? And then say something to him, right? But you don't need to react to him. Relaxation versus reaction. Remember we talked, relaxation is when you're comfortable being yourself and not reacting to tension, when you're not moving your body in a certain way to try to react to tension. So if there's a guy who comes in and is putting tension there, like social tension, He doesn't exist. He doesn't fucking exist. When I'm out, I'm a fucking savage, dude. Like, to me, other guys don't fucking exist unless they're cool and I actually want to network with them and talk to them. But other guys don't exist to me. Now, the other part about this is body positioning and locking in. Like, how do you actually position your body? Like, when you go out and when you approach women, how do you position your body? When a guy comes into the interaction, are you holding your position by the bar? Are you locked in, or are you buckling under tension, leaving your locked in spot and investing in chasing? So a lot of times, like, remember we looked at the example of me taking the girl from that guy where I said, don't take your glasses off. And we had the infield footage of that. And what happened was the girl looks at the guy and she doesn't even look at him. It's kind of just like he starts to dance and move and shake. And I'm just like, what the fuck? It's kind of sad because he literally starts to buckle under the tension. He literally started to freak out under tension. That is essentially the opposite of what it means to be an attractive man. Or is your body relaxed? You can demonstrate relaxation with your body. Even if you're nervous, even if you're scared, even if you feel insecure, even if you feel like the other guy's an advantage, you can still demonstrate that you're relaxed by the way you move your body. If you move your body without over-investing, if you move your body properly, if you don't move like this, you're going to appear to be more relaxed to the girl, right? That's generally how you're going to be able to come across to women as winning instead of losing. And that's when another guy comes in, how you're always going to win. That's how you're always going to fucking win and be at the cause, not the effect, if your body is locked in, if you're not moving a lot. So number one, be relaxed. Don't react to the guy. Ignore him. He doesn't fucking exist. The other thing is hold your body positioning. Remember being locked in. Lean against the bar. Take up space. Look like a cool dude. And when I say lean against the bar, I literally mean put your back against the bar. You saw how I was locked in. That's how you should be. Look at the infield examples. And the other part about it is when guys come in, you can flip the script as well. That's another thing I do. When another guy comes into the interaction, maybe it's a pickup guy or a guy who's like, sometimes what'll happen is a fan will recognize me, like a guy who follows my YouTube content, and he'll try to take the girl from me to see, like, does Tim really have game? And sometimes I don't even give a shit. I'm like, dude, take the girl. But if he like tries it with one of my students or something, then I'm really gonna step up and handle it. So what I'll do is I'll tell the girl, I'll be like, go ahead and leave me for the unattractive guy. I feel like he's your type. Or go ahead and leave me. I'll say, go ahead and leave me for the cute guy. He's your type. This guy looks like he's totally your type. He's fucking weird. I know you love him. Right? And I'll say it in her ear, like sexually, where the guy's on the other side, and I'll whisper in her ear, I'll be like, yeah, go with this guy. Let's say that he's like a black guy. I'll be like, go ahead and go with the nerdy black guy. Or let's say he's a white guy, and he's like, this happens to me in New York. There's just like a really annoying dude who just like tries to like take the girls that I'm talking to, and he does it to a lot of the guys in New York. It's really stupid. So what I'll do is I'll whisper to the girl in her ear. I'll be like, go with the tall, bald white man. Go with him. Right? It's just really fucking funny. And the girl just falls into that reality. Or if it's like a Latino guy, I'll make fun of that. Or a black guy, like I said, or anything. Right? You find something to flip the script. So you tell the girl to leave. It's like you tell the girl, go with him. Be like, yeah, he looks like he's your type. Do you like him? And then kind of just lean back and ignore the girl. Don't invest. Don't chase. And then that's another thing you can do there to make sure that girls are not leaving you for some other guy who comes in, right? What's another example of a situation where you might need advanced social awareness? Group interactions. That's a huge thing. So group dynamics. When you're talking to girls that are in a group, how do you deal with that? Let's say you want to talk to the beautiful, sexy blonde, or the beautiful brunette, or the beautiful Latina girl, the beautiful black girl who's in the group. How do you handle that interaction? Not just when her friends are going to cockblock you, but like, let's say you see a group and you want to open the group and you want to deal with the group. Here's how advanced social awareness is going to help you. Well, the first thing is the group dynamics. You have to find the leader. You have to find the leader of the group. When I pull with my friends, when I take girls home with my friends, like if me and a friend are going to take a girl home, or a group of like 2 or 3 girls home, we always need to find who the leader is. You find out who the leader is, and you have to win the friends. Those are the first 2 parts of figuring out the group dynamics. The first thing is figure the group dynamics. Find the leader and win the friends. Who is the leader of the group usually? The leader of the group is the girl that is the one in charge. Usually she's the girl that's the least sober. That's the least drunk. She's more sober than everyone else because she's like, are you guys doing this? Are you guys doing that? She's responsible. She's like the big sister of the group. Sometimes these girls are really annoying. Other times they're just cool girls that just happen to have their head on a little more straight than everyone else. Other times they're like the really like monstrous, like fat friend in the group. Like it's kind of funny. I was out on a program a while ago in New York, and there was this group of girls, and this one girl, it was like 3, oh my God. It was like 3 girls, and they were all attractive, and I was with my 2 students, and I was with my wing actually, who was assisting me on program at the time. And we go in to talk to the girls, and they're into us, it's 4 guys and 3 girls, and the 3 girls are into us 4 guys. Like I was talking to 2 of them and like managing 2 of them. They were both like getting physical with me, and then it was my 2 students and my boot camp assistant, and the other 3 girls, well, the other 2 girls were into them. Oh yeah, it was three guys and four. No, it was three. Oh, it was four guys and three girls. That's what happened. So basically, all of us were talking to this group of three girls, and I think my student had one, the other student had another, and then I had one, and my boot camp assistant was off on the side or something like that. We were both talking to one girl, and we were like, yes, we're gonna fucking pull. So we followed the process, and then out of nowhere, this chick who was, let's say, larger than average comes out and is like, what are you guys doing? And I just started laughing. Like, she was so angry. She was literally like, what are you doing? And I looked at my boot camp assistant. I was like, because you're the assistant, you are now her meal for the evening. And I sacrificed him, unfortunately, for the betterment of the group. He actually did a great job of handling that interaction. I gave the students the girls, and they ended up pulling back to the girls hotel or something like that. But yeah, so situations like that you could get into, where there's a friend who's larger than usual, or let's say that there's like the group and you want to pull or something with your friend. You need to figure out who's the group leader. Sometimes it will be obvious, like again, a girl running out of nowhere and screaming, what are you guys doing? Other times it will be not as obvious, and you'll just have to find the girl and sometimes ask. What I do is I'll ask, which girl's the leader? I'll be like, who leads this group? And a lot of times the girls, I'll be like, her! And they'll point to the girl who's the leader of the group, and you pretty much know your answer there. And what happens when you find the leader, you just have to make sure she's on your good side, right? She's on your good side, and you have to pretty much make everything go through her, because the girls are going to look to her for direction. Again, she's usually the most sober girl of the group, has the least amount of alcohol, is pretty much aware of everything that's going on with everyone. Those kind of girls, generally, I build a little more comfort with, but then I make sure that my game is really fucking solid and I'm leading and establishing that masculine vibe. And then the other thing is winning the friends. That's pretty simple. You just have to make sure that all the friends that are in the group know who you are and you won them over, because you don't want it to happen where one girl likes you, and then you try to lead her and the rest of the friends are like, you can't come, or you can't take her away. All right, so you want to make sure that the friends know you and the friends like you. So for example, if I'm leading a girl in a group, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take her away after I know who the leader is, and I'll be like, I love your friend, I'm going to take her to the bar, I'll bring her right back. And my girl's already down because she's attracted to me. Again, the fuckboy friend principles of subcommunication, being attractive. We talked about inner identity. You have to have all that on point. Once that's on point, you lead your girl. She should like you if you're an attractive guy. And then the friends are going to be like, cool. If you tell them, though, if they like you, if they approve of you. Now, understanding how to lead properly is important as well. So picking the girl that you want is really important. So a lot of times this happens when you're with the wingman. If you're like with the wing, who's good. If you're with the wing who knows what he's doing, and look at the mentor manifesto, of course, to check out how to be a good wingman and how to have great winging experiences. I interview my buddy Brian, who's one of my boot camp assistants actually, who's incredible at game. I talked to him about how to be a good wingman. You'll see what happens is if you are with him and you guys are pulling a group, you have to know who your girl is. You have to know which girl is yours and hone in on that girl. Now, sometimes you'll get in like threesome situations, but most of the time, I mean, not most of the time you won't, but sometimes you can get in threesome situations. But even in those situations, you have to pick a girl to lead. You just have to pick a girl to lead, and you have to manage the group. So you have to bounce the fun, you have to bounce the energy off of everyone in the group. A lot of times what I'm doing is I'm saying, how does this person know her? Are you guys the kind of girls that do this? Who's the crazy one? What's the craziest story you've had? Remember how I pulled those two girls from the street in the infield we broke down in a couple sections ago? What I did was, you saw I was kind of bouncing them off each other. I was like, tell me guys your crazy story. And they're both bouncing off that dynamic. I was like, how do you know her? How do you know her? And I figured out how they knew each other, and I was able to go from there. But ultimately, these situations are very simple. The biggest thing when it comes to being a socially aware guy and having this advanced level of social awareness is understanding what the girl needs. Like understanding what she needs. Understanding when she needs more comfort. Understanding when you just need to use your attraction. When you need to use your attraction is when you want to be emotional. When the girl is like, I like you, I want to go with you in the moment. That's when you want to show those emotions, right? You want to be funny. You want to pick her up, spin her around, make out with her. When the girl is kind of like, I'm not sure if I trust you, but I like you, you need to build comfort. Become a guy who's real. Become a guy that the girl knows. And again, we've talked about this the whole program. This is what it's been about. But I'm just reaffirming these principles to you. You have to become a guy that the girl knows. You actually have to become a face. You can't be some void, some empty void who's just another guy doing an approach because he does pickup, right? It has to be you have to be someone that's real, someone that she actually fucking knows. And the last thing, what's the most important, is understand when a girl's giving you a real no. Like, I wouldn't be able to teach this without saying that when a girl's giving you a real no, understand it. Sure, there's a soft no where the girl's like, oh my God, you're crazy, I can't do that, right? And she's like, Like last night, a girl told me, she was like, "I'm not on Tinder to hook up, but I'll go back to your place with you." I mean, she's going back to my place with me by herself. I mean, I assume she's down to hook up, but even then, I still was kind of slow in how I handled the physicality. I didn't really go crazy with that. But understand a soft no versus a real no. When a girl's saying really no, like, no, I don't want to do this, and she's giving you those signs, those signals, she's resisting, you're trying to make out, she's like, no, get away from me. She's like saying, please stop, please, saying those words, verbalizing that. You need to understand that. You need to respect that and instantly back off. There's always more girls. But this is advanced social awareness. This is how you're going to take your interactions from good to great and be able to handle these situations you get into. What we're going to crack into next is investment principles and how to get girls to actually chase you and invest in you as a man. That's really advanced, but you can apply it at any level you are in game, especially once you implement these fuckboy firm principles. So this will be some good additive value on top of the basics.